All right, guys. It's Friday. I'm starting my long birthday weekend, and I figured we'd have a little fun today. I printed off. I went on Yelp, and I printed off a couple of the larger companies here in town. A couple of the larger HVAC contractors here in my town. Their reviews, and obviously, I'm not going to divulge their names. I'm not going to mention any specifics on anything, so nobody will ever know who these companies are. These are two of the larger companies in town, and you don't want to have reviews like this. And how they got so big, I don't know. And I know that some of you are going to say, well, they're a large company, of course they're going to have bad reviews, but when your overall rating is 2.4 out of 5 stars, um, a chronic problem. And then the other one is 2.9 out of 5 stars. I couldn't imagine having ratings like that and running an HVAC business with ratings that low. So I'm going to go through some of these. I'm gonna obviously block off any incriminating stuff. I'm not here to defame anybody, but it's kind of a learning experience, and I want to let you guys know what to avoid if you're a consumer watching this. The type of stuff to avoid. So let's get into it. So we're gonna call this company X. We're gonna call this company Y. They're two of the larger companies in my area. So let's just start off here. I'll read some good ones too, but I'm gonna read you off some of these bad ones here. So this is company X, and it says, "I have never used company X and never will. They do not care about people. My mother never owned a home or needed to use a heating company because she was dying a slow and painful death. She died after suffering for many years in 2017. Company X Heating and Cooling have put her on some mailing list. She gets a reminder card from them every few months. Called them more than a few times to take her off this list as she is dead. This has fallen on deaf ears. So we get a reminder of her agonizing long death from this company. Not a company me or my family will ever use. So if you ever want a constant reminder that you lost a loved one to a horrible death, then use company X. They will be happy to send you a reminder card." I would at least address it. There's no response. There's no response to that review either. So hopefully they rectified it and phone called gave that person a phone call. Let's see. Let's go on to another one. This is still company X here. This review is strictly based on my customer service experience. We typically use another heating company, which has always been fantastic. However, we bought a new house that had equipment installed from company X, and so I've been trying to reach them regarding a repair. I called them in September, and it took over a week for someone to call me back through the answering service. I missed their call, and it took several more attempts to get anyone on the line. The representative answering phone sounded super agitated when I finally got through, then put me on hold for nearly 10 minutes before I hung up. I guess they don't want any new business. I'm certainly not going to call a fifth time to reach them. Very disappointing. I'd recommend this company or that company heating contractors over these guys if you want to actually get scheduled. Okay? And so I'm not reading these to make myself look better. I've made tons of mistakes. There's probably some people watching this or saying, "Yeah, I screwed them over, or I screwed up on their job or whatever." And yeah, I'm not perfect, but it's not a chronic thing with me. It happens every once in a while, and to anybody that's ever happened to with my business or my other business that I had, um, I express my deepest sorries and condolences to any problems that you had with anything that I ever did with my company. And you could call me up today, and I do whatever I could to make it right. So let's leave it there. This isn't bad mouthing anybody. That's why I'm keeping everything private. This is mainly for entertainment purposes and to educate people on knowing what to avoid. So let's go to company Y here. So here's a big. This is a real long one, so I might do Cliff's notes here, but I might read the whole thing so you get the whole gist of it. These are all 1-star reviews I'm reading here, and then once I'm done, I'll probably do a couple 5s so you can see that they do good stuff too. But it's chronic because they're only half of a 5-star review throughout the entirety of the reviews. Avoid this company at all costs. Dishonesty and predatory practices are woven into their culture. Extremely disappointed with the service provided by company Y. Cut them out last year due to what we believe was a needed system coolant recharge. We were told then that the system was fine and didn't need to be charged, but it was only blowing about 65-degree air, and he said that that was fine. But I wasn't there as he was dealing with my wife. He charged us $105 and left without any service to us. We still couldn't cool the house below 68, 69 degrees. Well, okay, this guy might be off his rocker because 68, 69 is fine. Fast forward 1 year to last Saturday. Their technician is incompetent at his job. It took him an unreasonable amount of time to diagnose a possible leak and a cracked piece of plastic on a cover. While one of their competitors found all the problems and had a solution in under 20 minutes. To make matters worse, he said that a part I needed is not manufactured anymore. He could get one at a cost, and it would take a few hours for him to replace, making it a $1,900 repair on top of a UV leak detection. Blah blah blah. Um, his competitor found the part for $67 and said the whole bill would be less than 500. So then this company came back out and they insisted, this company Y, insisted that their entire system needed to be replaced, and their quote of nearly 24,000 was significantly higher than every other quote we received, nearly double. There was no need to replace our entire system, and we feel that we were taken advantage of and given a predatory pricing. To add insult to injury, company Y wanted to charge us $1,200 for UV dye leak detection, which would have allowed them to find the leak. This is a service that they charged us less than $200 for 2 years ago on my rental unit about 10 miles away. Sounds like they just make up prices in thin air. Since they took my credit card information already, they already charged my card for that due to the incompetence of the technician dispatched, failure service, predatory pricing, blah blah blah. So, yeah, I don't want a review like that. Do you? Let's go to the next one. Another 1-star, right? Row here. They showed up on time and did a review of the job, then went to their car to write up an estimate to install a 240-volt line so we could get an induction stove. The estimate was a one-line statement supporting their quote of $2,500, no listing of parts and their cost. Well, that's normal, so this guy might be off his rocker too. Or any listing of the time and number of workers to install the parts and complete the job. When I asked for more detail, they said the parts would cost about $200 and made no mention of the labor breakdown, which they shouldn't have to do anyway. $2,500 does seem kind of high just to run one line over to an induction stove. All right, let's do another one from this one. Then we'll go back to Company X. About 8 minutes in here. Try to go faster. Went to Angie's List, posted a problem of a clogged drain. Company Y, this is Company X actually. Is Company X? No, this is Company Y still. That doesn't really matter. Company Y called. I asked for an estimate. Was told their person would give me a quote when they arrived. Made an appointment. Another company called and said they charge $80 for the service, and I made an appointment. Having a fixed price, waiting to see if Company Y's quote would be better. They showed up while I was in town and gave me my wife a quote for $850. She called, told me that what the quote was, and handed the phone to them. He stated the quote, and I said goodbye. The other company showed up and fixed the problem very quickly, and were paid very reasonable price. Company Y are scammers trying to take advantage of old people. I'll probably never use Angie's List again or recommend them to anyone for recommending scammers as good repair people. Company Y again, professional prompt, but their price point was the most expensive of the 7 bids that I obtained. I did not hire Company Y because of that price point. Here's another 1-star. I'm grateful that Company Y agreed to refund our call fee and the $500 deposit the plumber had taken, but they unfortunately have refused to repair our floor. I gave them direct feedback that their plumbers should protect the services they work on and be careful where they place wet items. I never heard back from them. Seemed like a simple thing, customer service perspective to take care of, and my review here would have been much more understanding. So because of these things, I cannot recommend this group and we will not work with them again. I'll just finish off the company Y here. I was enrolled in their preferred customer program. They missed 2 repair appointments for our AC unit that was down from May through the end of July. They scheduled the second appointment. They understood I would need to rearrange travel home for my daughter's wedding. They promised they had the part and they would be there and understand my situation. They called at the time they were supposed to arrive to cancel because part was larger than expected. I was unable to get a call from a manager, but after 4 days, I spoke to a customer satisfaction representative. They would not discount my invoice for the missed appointments, but admitted they charged customers $90 for a missed appointment. Very poor customer service, friendly sounding people, poor service, and no accountability. And here's the last one. If you want to pay 3 times the going rate, then these are your guys. Company Y quoted me $24,000 for a low-end HVAC system. Another company installed a high-end system for $97.50. Company Y is big on advertising and high-pressure sales, or subpar. Do not use them. It's not good. All right, let's go to back to Company X. We'll do a couple more with them, and then we'll conclude this. Cause I'm already 11 minutes in. I'm probably boring you. Oh, this could be a good one. Okay. This is in response to the owner of Company Y, a complete fabrication. I refuse to listen to her rhetoric any further, but just want to make people aware of a few things. I never told her the reason we would not have the plumbing manager back out was because my mother couldn't afford it. She said, let us try to make it right. I told her it was too late and we scheduled someone else. She badgered me and actually said he has time on Friday to go out. I will schedule it. This was after I told her no twice and that someone else is coming. I could go on and on regarding what this woman said, but I am done. I'm actually surprised this person is still with the company. Not good. Company X again. Normally I don't write negative reviews. For the most part, I've had positive interactions with this company. With the last 2 years, getting a repair tech to come out and do regular maintenance on the furnace or AC has been problematic. The online scheduling system has been nothing but a pain in the rear. I schedule an appointment, the tech doesn't show up. I've wasted an entire day waiting. Not happy. When I call about the problem, the person on the phone acknowledges that the online scheduling isn't working correctly and oftentimes doesn't schedule the appointment, which is interesting because I received an email indicating when the appointment will be between what time. So if you know it's not working, fix it or take it down so people don't waste their time. Looking to schedule with a different company if this happens one more time. Terrible service in my opinion, especially when you know this aspect of your business is not working. Company X again. We hired Company X to install a new AC unit at our townhouse. Installation was completed. We rented this townhome during the summer and earned substantially all of our rental income in July and August. In July, a renter notified us that the AC was not working. We called the company within a day, arrived at the property, and concluded that the compressor on the brand new AC unit they installed had failed. We explained that the current renters were canceling the remainder of their reservation, costing us about $1,000 in lost rental income, and needed the compressor replaced promptly before the next renters arrived. This is on Tuesday. We did not hear anything about the replacement on Wednesday, so I called on Thursday. I spoke with an employee who said they had not ordered the part but were working on it. I asked for an update but have not heard back. The following day, I placed 5 calls to their office throughout the day. I've never spoken with anyone. I did leave an urgent message with their answering service Friday morning. But as of the end of the day, Friday, I have not received a call back. The weekend passed. They called a couple days later. Our next renters are going to arrive on Monday and will arrive without AC. The fact that a brand new unit failed after less than 30 days of usage, and the fact that 3 days after diagnosis, nobody at the company has taken the time or courtesy to contact us and let us know what is going on, and the estimated replacement date is very disappointing at the peak of our rental season. We suspect this fiasco will end up costing us several $1,000s of immediate income loss and may result in unfavorable reviews that impact our years to come. Yeah, not good. This one, worst service you will receive. I contacted them back in July to get a quote for labor. The part was under warranty. Did not hear back until a month later. We scheduled for them to come out weeks in advance, and the day they were to come out, they were late. Called them. They told me they were running late, but should be there around 11 a.m. I called them at 1 to see what was the holdup, and they tell me a part was missing. How in the hell that gets missed when this is a part that has been delivered to them by a manufacturer back in September? I had to call them again to get a status on my missing part. Do not use them. Do not another one. Do not use this company. We ask that they reconnect our kitchen plumbing after a remodel, as well as repairing the noise made by our tankless water heater. The two plumbers had no idea as to the reason for the noise and suggested replacing various parts to see if that would fix the problem. We declined that suggestion as they seemed to be guessing. They did reconnect our kitchen plumbing faucet instant hot disposal. The charge was $700. Ridiculous. Subsequently had another plumber fix the noise of our tankless water heater for $3. No new parts needed. Don't waste your time or money with this company. So yeah. Oh, it's what it is. I don't bored you for 15 minutes with that stuff, but the moral of the story is I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but this is mainly for entertainment purposes and kind of showing you guys what can happen if you get yourself mixed up with these big companies that are owned by big investment firms that do not care about you. What'll happen is they will push you off because they don't care. You're small fry to them. Their meat and potatoes is their big commercial jobs they're doing, their big residential replacement jobs that they're doing, and even those are inflated on price. So stick with the small guys like me. Sometimes I take on more than I can handle, and that's when I've had problems. And to those people that I've taken those jobs on for, I'm sure they can agree with me on that. But I know what my niche is, and it's good customer service, taking care of my local customers, and doing the right thing. And if I can't, I'll find somebody that can. So that's the moral of this story. I'm gonna log off on this video. I didn't bore you too much, but I got to get the word out because too many people are getting taken advantage of, especially when it starts getting hot or really cold. So I want to keep people up and educated on what can happen. So thanks for watching.